Referee for this one, Daniel Luttringer.
Stay behind it. Yep. Good luck.
Sunday afternoon, NRLW football. Let the excitement begin. It's the Cowboys taking on the Eels. And Banu with a strong carry. S.A. Banu to get things going for North Queensland. What a turnaround from them last week. And 38 points scored last week, the Cowboys. And that was actually the highest scoring game in NRLW history with the Dragons, that 4-point win.
Yeah, it was incredible, wasn't it? I think, Drury, what you mentioned off the top, Ja'Kai Whitfield's one of their attacking weapons, and they just figured out how to get her more involved in the game, which was brilliant to see. But what about these conditions for Sunday footy? You couldn't ask for much more. Two teams desperate for a win, the Cowboys to go back-to-back, and the Eels after a tough game, great defence, last week going down by 2 to the Sharks. So it's an exciting matchup between the two clubs.
Indeed, that was Bree Chester, and now the kick from Div, the Cowboys. Getting to their kick, opening set. Sun perhaps in the eyes there of Abby Church, but she did well.
Yep. A little bit of sun out there. The conditions are perfect to throw the ball around, but that was a great start for the Cowboys, and now they're aiming up in defence. You get your kick away, you get your chase, then you've got to win those next 2 tackles, and they're doing that at the moment, the Cowboys.
A slight breeze, nothing too full on, but if anything, might be favouring the Eels or the team running from right to left in this game. There's Elsie Albert with a carry. We'll have every game of the 2024 NRLW season live and free on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Of course, this is the first of our double-header Sunday. Huge match with the Broncos and Titans to follow. Crystal Blackwell, she's playing fullback today. Goldthorpe moves to the wing as we check in with Marley Silver on the sideline. Good afternoon, Marley.
Good afternoon, Drury. Well, the Sunshine State is certainly living up to its name this beautiful Sunday. It is 23 degrees here on the sideline, nice and sunny. A little bit of cloud cover that is kind of threatening, but other than that, perfect conditions for 2 games of NRLW footy and a slight breeze coming from behind the Parramatta Eels for this first half.
Thank you very much, Marley. Promising signs from the North Queensland Cowboys. Lily Peacock. She was part of that BMD Premiership winning Mackay Cutter's team this year, the teenager. She's certainly a star on the rise as Tillett gets to the kick. Well weighted, but no trouble there for Zali Faye for the Parramatta Eels, the winger, and she returns that almost up to the 20-metre line.
Yeah, well, let's see what the Cowboys have got defensively in this set. The first set they had, they're starting to win that battle of field position already, the Cowboys. But the Parramatta just need to hang in there and wait for maybe a penalty or they get a good kick chase just to get some momentum back.
There's Rosie Kelly. 2 rugby tests for New Zealand. And, the 2 centres doing really well to start the year for the Eels. There's Rory Owen, who had a wonderful game last week. Most run metres across the entire Eels game, 67 post-contact metres. Elsie Albert looking to open up the Cowboys. Last tackle, 45 away. As Rachel Pearson goes high. It's a tricky one there. But all is well that ends well for North Queensland.
It was a good kick chase, forcing them to start this set on the 20-metre line. Last one was a bit over the 30, so it's a better start, but just this line intensity in defence is crucial for the Eels.
Just a replay there, Francesca Goldthorpe, Cowboys Rookie of the Year. She did start the season at fullback. Now they've switched Blackwell to that number 1 position. Goldthorpe on the left wing for the Cowboys.
Yeah, they made that change last week during the game, and it seemed to work, so the coaches obviously stuck to it.
Now the other winger on the right side will be Ebony Ruffstrand-Smith as Peacock plays it just over halfway. And again, Tillett just dabs at that one. Zali Faye, this time she takes it on a 20 and makes it beyond the 30, so a solid carry to start this set for Parramatta.
Yeah, and I think that's all off the back of that penalty, that relieving penalty that Lockie was talking about. But they forced the Cowboys to start on their 20-metre line, put pressure on the kicker, and just get that little piggyback kick for touch and a penalty off the 30. So a great start for the Eels. We might get to see them in some better territory.
And Lockie, you might be a chance of kicking this one, mate. Oh, sorry,
Just
catching
missed.
it, I should
Just
say.
missed, yeah.
Catching it.
Well,
Kicking.
this is Parramatta's first real opportunity to mount some pressure with some good attacking set, and I reckon they might get to the edges pretty quick here, and then try and use some of the speed out the wide.
Albert. Was Tanika Todd-Hunter still playing 9 with no Ruben Cherrington in the lineup for the Eels. There's Kennedy Cherrington onto Pearson. And now Church runs into Tiana Ruffstrand-Smith. The Eels approaching that Westpac red zone and running across field. Great run, Matty Jones. Up to the 10-metre line here. Toi Hiku. And now the captain, Murphy. Last tackle for Parramatta, Toi Hiku. Crossfield kick, dangerous here for North Queensland as Dib takes it, but she's going to be driven back in goal.
Goal line drop.
Yeah, nice set by the Eels. They get a repeat set. And just like the way the forwards are linking for the Eels, they're just using short passes, but it's troubling the Cowboys' defence. We see there Kira Dib. She caught the ball, probably could have maybe got to the ground quicker, but the Eels on the attack again.
Toi Hiku, who distributes to Elsie Albert, 7 tests for PNG, former Dragon. Played in the 2021 Grand Final. So the Eels. Kennedy Cherrington plays with her heart on her sleeve. They go short side here. Pearson, little dummy. Still going, Rachel Pearson. New South Wales Origin half. And Todd Hunter will try her luck. Has a second bite of the cherry there, Tanika Todd Hunter. Top 24 player this year for the Eels. There's a long looping pass. Kennedy Cherrington. And now Mahalia Murphy, the skipper, dummy. Can she get the ball on the outside? She's got support. She wants to go all the way herself. Mahalia Murphy, last play now. Wayward pass. All the way back to the 20. Elsie Albert, who's got her kicking boots on. And Goldthorpe there for North Queensland at the back.
I tell you what, that could have been a lot worse for the Eels. Elsie Albert with the boot, but a couple of really poor passes in that set from dummy half from the Eels. It's something you've really got to work on because the flow-on effect can be pretty dangerous, but they got out of jail fairly free there.
Yeah, they just lost all momentum with that dummy half pass in the last tackle. And Elsie Albert's not too many front rowers.
Hey, Banu!
Oh,
Banu still going.
What a
Second
run.
effort went back into the ball.
S.A. Banu, well, that's a momentum changer, isn't it? What a run, and then the penalty to top it off.
Yeah, that was massive. I thought she made a statement in the first set of this game that she was well and truly on in defence as well, but what a barnstorming run. And now we get to see the Cowboys and what they've got in attack.
good touch finder. It's about 30 metres Kira Dib's picked up there.
So the Cowboys, having withstood the pressure from the Eels, Bree Chester. Kai Cutter's BMD Premiership Team Player of the Year, Bree Chester, and there's Peacock with the error. So early in the tackle count.
Just lost in.
We might have another knock on.
You tried to get a...
Referee saying the advantage wasn't played.
No. It's your ball. It's your ball. There's no advantage. You've got the first knock on. Scrum para. There's no advantage from the first knock on.
See Emma Manzelman just jumping out of dummy half. That was an unforced error. One that Lily Peacock would definitely like to have over again that moment. Just thought about what she was going to do next.
Exactly. She saw the space. She was looking at that before she caught the ball. It's an opportunity that goes begging for the Cows.
Here we go. Break.
So 0-0 approaching the 10-minute mark. Round 3 of the NRLW, Mahalia Murphy took over the captaincy this year for Parramatta from Kennedy Cherrington. And Rory Owen, Alana, she had a great game last week, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. She's willing to roll her sleeves up and do the hard stuff, which we just saw her do then, and a great finisher as well. But I think everyone's been impressed with Rory Owen and the level that she's been playing at this season.
Abby Church plays it and approached the 40 here. Good contact on Chloe Jackson. Chloe Jackson's first NRLW season this year is the 5'8", Cassie Tohi Hiku. Played one test for Tonga before. Last tackle here, Elsie Abbott again, first receiver on the last. But they wanted to kick again, Lockie, and Matty Jones might be caught with it here for the Eels.
Change over there.
Yeah, well, Rachel Pearson, she needs to take some ownership there. Like you've got to get that kick away, and you've got to be organised. Play forward, you need to be thinking where you're going to put the ball.
Jakaya Whitfield came across in the off-season from the West Tigers, and we saw good things happen. They got her more involved last week. She wasn't really a factor in round 1 for the Cowboys.
Yeah, she wasn't, was she? Not at all. I think last week just showed how dangerous she can be. I'd still like to see her get involved even more. She's such an incredible attacking weapon. Has a really good feel for the game. Even if they come up with a couple of set plays to involve her a little bit more, I think is crucial, but just good to see her get the footy in her hands early on in the sets.
A little bit of ruck speed here for the Cowboys. They're starting to push up on the ball around the dummy half as they go through Kira Dib.
And looking for Goldthorpe. And a Parramatta Eel just getting a hand to that. And fortunately she did. It was Monique Donovan in the headgear. Kick was slightly miscued, but the idea was a good one, Lockie.
Well, if it had another couple of metres on it, it was probably spot on. But I like the thought process of trying to try something, and didn't execute it to perfection, but it's worth a try.
So 10 out, centre of the park, the Eels feed the scrum and win the scrum. Mahalia Murphy. Left edge back rower and skipper. The Eels, they defeated the Broncos in their first game of the season, and a narrow loss last week to the Sharks. They just couldn't hold the ball in those dying minutes when all they had to do was manage the game. Easier said than done, of course. But they'll be looking to bounce back today, Parramatta. And they've got the penalty here.
Yeah, I'd like to see that woman there, Rachel Pearson, the halfback for the Eels, just really take control of this set. We saw the 5th tackle option not happen in the previous set, but taking the tap at halfway, it's a great opportunity for them. She needs to be heavily involved, the loudest voice on the field.
So both sides have gone to their bench. Here's Tyler Amiatu. Had a debut last year in the NRLW. And now Tohi Hiku to Murphy. Back towards the middle they go. Cassie Tohi Hiku. There's a couple of runners to go before finding Pearson onto Jackson. Chloe Jackson, centre of the field. Here come Parramatta with Pearson. Out in the centre, she beats Whitfield. And Rosie Kelly. Rosie Kelly plants the ball down for Parramatta. An impressive run, and the Eels are on the board first.
It was a nervous finish, wasn't it? Wasn't sure if Rosie Kelly was going to get that down, but she did well too in the end. But it was just the way that they sucked in Jakaya Whitfield, which created that space, as we see here on the Harvey Norman replay on the right edge. Rachel Pearson gets the footy in 2 hands, and I thought that was the first time they really sort of played what was in front. It was good footwork, one-on-one, but just to be able to beat Jakaya Whitfield and stand her up with footwork was brilliant, but they had to go quick. The key to getting to that edge and the way at which they went about it, Rachel Pearson catches the footy, finds her centre, but just played really quick off a quick play the ball. And the Eels, they make the most of that. That was a penalty that got them up that end of the field, and they were able to execute it and turn it into points.
Yeah, well deserved, good footwork. I guess the Cowboys have been kicking themselves that they didn't complete down the other end. They give away a penalty to compound that, and then the Eels go all the way down the other end of the field. And it was a nice pass by Rachel Pearson. Got a fair kick in front of her here from the sideline.
Made a debut in round 1, Rosie Kelly, that match against the Broncos. Tough kick coming up here for Rachel Pearson. To the right foot of Pearson. And it's an absolute beauty. Parramatta 6 lead the Cowboys, yet to score.
For the whistle. On the clock, wait, Kira. Stay behind.
As we welcome you back to Nine's NRLW coverage, and the kickoff from North Queensland has gone out on the full, and Marley Silva, that wasn't far from you.
It certainly wasn't. I'm getting more and more worried I'm going to get hit in the head on this sideline. But we just saw Rosie Kelly get the first points on the board in this game, and it was quite an awkward tackle right on the try line. So as Rachel Pearson was taking the conversion, she was seen to by the physio and had her ankle strapped up. We'll keep you updated if any more movement happens there.
Thank you, Marley. Never far from the action. Amiatu. And now Kennedy Cherrington. Toi Hiku for the Eels. Look at this, have come up with the first points, and now they're only 20 metres away from the Cowboys' try line again. There's Jackson on the angle. And Chloe Jackson, and now Amiatu again. Gonna have to stop her. She's a powerhouse. Still going, Amiatu. They finally put her on her back. Last tackle coming up is Todd Hunter, all the way out to Pearson. Crossfield kick looking for Donovan. She takes it back inside to Jackson. They're inside the 10, still on the last Parramatta. Good tackle there from Whitfield.
Yeah, she wasn't going to let him go that time, was she, Jakaya Whitfield? But good defensive set from the Cowboys. Obviously that kick from the kickoff was horrendous, but they were able to defend their way out of that. Now they've got to work their way out of this territory.
Yeah, they need to get to the kick, the Cowboys. They've been under the pump the last 5 minutes, and I just reckon the fatigue factor's starting to set in for them.
Oh, there's a strong run, if you've ever seen one. Tiana Ruffstrun-Smith. Always bringing the heat. And now, just short of halfway, it was Lily Peacock. Last play, Buka also on for the Cowboys. Just having to backtrack there, Abby Church. She did exceptionally well. And then beats the tackle attempt of Chester before flung to the ground by China Palata.
She must be extremely fit, Abby Church. She's running around all day.
Yeah, she is. She's always there in support in attack. But I reckon she's taken her game to another level this season, just coming out of the pre-season. She, like you said, Lockie, she looks fit, but she just looks so light on her feet, just constantly challenging the defenders. And have a look at her. Anytime you get a good chance at the width of the field, Abby Church, there she is.
And here she goes again. She's through. She beats Peters. Oh, what a tackle from Manzelman. Coming from the clouds. They were lining up then, the Eels. Jade Fanua. Tongan international, second season with the Eels. Todd Hunter, she sent it to Pearson. Little kick in behind. Here comes Jackson. And Crystal Blackwell just in the nick of time for North Queensland.
Yeah, well, you have a look at what that run from Abby Church did, as Lockie pointed out. How fit she is, her footwork, her pace. Again, just keeps the pressure piled onto the Cowboys, getting them that forward momentum, the ascendancy, and just making it really hard for them to work out of their own end.
Yeah, she talks to a defensive line too. She just sort of seeing organiser troops is the fullbacks, they play a big role in the defence.
Jade, you go
Penalty
back to the right.
Cowboys.
You got to go to the side.
Well, they needed that, the Cows. Their last set was good, but they allowed Parramatta to get down the other end pretty quickly. This time they'll get a ball just into Eels territory. So we'll see what they can find in this set.
And the Cowboys, here's Ja'Kiah Whitfield. And let's check in with Marley on the sideline for an update.
Yes, we've just been keeping an eye on the Parramatta Eels captain, Mahalia Murphy. In the last set, she was being seen to by the doctor in back play. It looks like perhaps she got a stinger in her right shoulder, but she's holding it quite uncomfortably, and it could be an issue as she goes in to make that tackle. So I could be proven wrong there, but we've been watching and it looks a little bit sore for her.
Talisha Harden also on the field now for North Queens. Oh, what about the ball there from Tillett to Peters?
Oh, that was a great ball.
Pinpoint. Now they come the other way. Chester. The Cowboys have got a nice set either side here. Players lined up. Manzelman goes back to the 5'8". Tillett. Short. The Cowboys, they're over. China Palata. North Queensland respond accordingly.
Yeah, it was a brilliant line by China Palata, but I had my eyes on Tallulah Tillett ahead of that. Once they went into contact on the play the ball ahead, you could see her just teeing it up. We see here on the Harvey Norman replay, she gets the footy in her hands and just that late change. So they come back at the posts, and then you can see with Tallulah Tillett with her hands up, just telling China Palata exactly what line to run. Emma Manzelman comes back to this short side. She straightens things up, the gap opens up, and she just throws that perfect little pass. But a great pass, excellent run, but you could see Tallulah Tillett just teeing that up, telling her back rower exactly where she wanted her to be, and the timing was perfect.
Yeah, well, the first time she went to the right, she went across the face of her outside player, and then she mixed it up that time. She went short, so it's good variety. Same play, same setup, but this time went short. Nice bit of play from the back rowers and the 5'8".
So Kira Dibb, the Cowboys captain, 5 from 7 last week to level the scores. She does exactly that. We're all tied up here, 6 apiece. You want to do the red zone, Lockie? When it comes up. It's just, you're just reading the graphic. No, we haven't seen it yet. I'll kick us off. It'll come in at some point. The proceedings back underway here at Totally Workwear Stadium. 6-all the score. And the Cowboys responded with a try their own as Talisha Harden takes the first carry.
Yeah, the Eels in the Westpac red zone, the Eels are dominant there, but the score's 6-all. So Cowboys finally completed their first set in that last bit of play and got points. So at the moment the Eels are dominant there, but 6-all on the scoreboard.
Talisha Harden, she's played in every NRLW season. The veteran, of course, has represented the Gillaroos. There she is, Talisha Harden. Played by Peacock, 35 away. Stepping inside there for the kick was Kira Dibb. Just holding up there for Church. She puts on a nice little left foot step, and she's wrapped up just prior to the 30. Some footwork by Kelly, who scored the opening try in this match. Both these clubs with first-year head coaches. Steve Georgalis for the Eels and Ricky Henry at the helm for the Cowboys.
Yeah, Steve's in the room next to us. It's been quite fidgety.
He hasn't been sitting down much, has he?
Coaching, jeez.
So the Eels now, you have to keep us posted on Steve. Thanks, Lockie. So 35 away centre of the field here, Parramatta. Pearson. That's a deeper kick this time. It's high and it's allowed to bounce by Blackwell, but well measured. It'll come out to the 20 for a 7-tackle set for North Queensland.
Yeah, she put way too much on that, Rachel Pearson. I think she knew it too as soon as it hit the boot.
So 6-all the score. The winner of this one will move to 2 wins.
It's a good run.
They're opening 3 matches. There's Parramatta. Queensland Origin last year. Cowboys back row, Jakaya Whitfield. As Alana said earlier, we'd like to see her even more involved from a Cowboys perspective. Did some great things last week.
Well, I think they were able to find her that space with a bit more of a fractured defensive line. She's always willing to roll her sleeves up and be involved early on in these sets. Oh, Elsie Albert's just taken a one-on-one strip. That's a good way to change momentum. But yeah, I feel like they've got to come up with some attacking plays to get Jakaya Whitfield more involved when they've got that good ball. And a penalty off the back.
Yeah, big play from Elsie Albert, which leads to a penalty for Parramatta.
Yeah, so well done, Elsie, because that one-on-one, strip can completely turn the momentum of a game. And she's had a big day out so far. She's been kicking. She's stealing balls one-on-one. So let's see if she's got something for us in this set.
Rosie Kelly.
All right, Kira, off the ball. Lily, front foot. Lock in Marcus.
Right centre for the Eels. Now Whanua. Looking to regain the lead, Parramatta. Short side here with Pearson, and that goes to Jackson. Chloe Jackson. Another first-year NRLW player, a second game today. Comes out now to Whanua. On to Tohi Hiku and Church. Here they come. She's got Owen in support. Church tries to thread the needle. There's Rory Owen.
Get up.
Towards the posts. Albert onto Whanua. Kennedy Cherrington tries to duck under the dip tackle. The ball comes loose. Bree Chester has it.
It wasn't the best set from the Eels. I feel like they're just going a bit too lateral at the moment. Just need to straighten the attack up. Just maybe get in around the play the ball area with a bit more sort of direct, straight running.
And there's some nice footwork from Francesca Goldthorpe. They've only met once before, these two sides. And that was last year, of course. The Eels won that 16-12. That was at Strata Jubilee in Sydney. So the Eels lead the head-to-head, but they've only met once before. Alicia Ford's on the field now. She's a local girl from Townsville. And now the Cowboys. That's a strong shot. 40 away, Tillett. And Faye read that to perfection. On the full, and well tackled by Alicia Ford.
She's another player that's had a really good start to the season, Zali Faye. Been really strong, both finishing, but in attack, some of her defensive reads have been really impressed with her.
Oh, wayward pass over the touchline in their own half from Parramatta.
Yeah, I was about to say an error could be costly at the moment. Both teams starting to really struggle, and I just think, as you see Steve there, I don't think he'd be happy with that pass. That pass has put his team under a lot of pressure. If the Cowboys can complete like they did last time they were down here, they'll be hard to hold out.
So they've got the ball here, North Queensland. Ford only 25 away. Here goes Manselman, shrugs away from one, up to the 10, inside to Alicia Ford. Strong defence from Parramatta, led there by Jade Whanua. 11 away, centre of the park. Ford again, Dibb. Out to, that was Blackwell. Fires the pass to Goldthorpe. As well to stay in play, Francesca Goldthorpe. Dibb, still inside the 10. She'll fancy her chances here, Kira Dibb. Can she reach out?
Knock on.
Oh, she got
Back
close.
on scrum, Para.
Great scramble defence from the Eels, just putting the Cowboys under pressure. They had pretty good shape in that play the ball beforehand, but just too much pressure on the playmaker. So you see that hit and spin. The ref thinks she lost control of the footy.
Yeah, I think she was trying to get the arm out to try and put the ball down over the try line. She was close, but as she, in the motion of doing that, she's bobbled the ball. So a bit of a let-off there for the Eels.
Indeed. So the score remains 6-all. Ahalia Murphy, 6 minutes to play in the first half. Oh, strong collision. You could hear it from here. China Palata. Elsie Albert straight at Manselman. Peters also there for the Cowboys defensively. Albert still going.
Geez, she's a handful.
Certainly is, as is this woman, Jade Fanua. Kennedy Cherrington, Tohu Hiku, she'll run it this time, and with success she's through. Tohu Hiku can't evade the tackle attempt of Blackwell. Last play, and now Parramatta. Rosemary Beckett finds a way. Too big, too strong, too good.
Yeah, good ruck recognition from Rosemary Beckett. Just that quick play the ball off Cassie Tohu Hiku, but you probably got to take it right back to Elsie Albert. She started the set with that intent and the momentum, and then the little 5'8" gets the footy, and we see here on the Harvey Norman replay, she takes the line on at pace. She's got options either side of her, which helps break through, and then a quick play the ball, marker not ready, and the interchange hooker backed herself to go over.
Yeah, late in the first half, try confirm. It's you just see that there's some fatigue out there, and just a little half break there, and it was smart coming out of dummy half there, went down the short side, went away from Rachel Pearson, but backed herself and got the Eels in front just on the 5 minutes out from half time. The last one was from the sideline. This one a little bit easier, but sometimes these are the harder ones.
Rachel Pearson. And straight over the black dot. Eels 12 lead the Cowboys 6.
Not early. Stay behind it.
So it's try for try at the moment. Eels striking first, the Cowboys, and now the Eels back in front. Elsie Albert, hasn't she been enormous?
All right, off the back, Alicia.
Wrapped up there by both Ford and the debutante, Lillian Yarrow, who's out there for the Cowboys and jumper number 18.
Emma, move. In square. Don't hold her. Hold. That's it.
Kennedy Cherrington with the carry up towards halfway.
Emma, all the way. Hold.
The 2024 NRL and NRLW Telstra Premiership Grand Final is on sale now. Let's go. With last year's Grand Final considered the greatest of all time, be there to witness the impossible happen. This is an event you don't want to miss, so make sure you're at Accor Stadium on Sunday, October 6th. Get your tickets now at nrl.com/tickets. Let's go. Tohu Hiku, little kick, tricky one for Blackwell. Did she hold that cleanly? Referee says yes.
Well, that's a great set from the Eels after scoring points. Points bring you energy, and they're full of running then, the Eels, and the Cows are just hanging on here.
Whitfield, should we take another look at this from the Eels?
Hold. Go through. 14.
Opposition, Crystal Blackwell.
Jade, move! Rosemary again! Hold! Go for.
Talisha Hardham.
Hold! Last tackle, release! Push that markets, go!
Kick from Tallulah Tillett. Again, she's positioning those returns Ali Faye so well, Lockie. She always seems to be there.
Yeah, she's a good winger and positional play very good. Her kick returns today, always on the fall and gets good meters. So it's exactly what you want from your back threes. If you're playing in the forward, you don't want to be retreating too far back, so you get away to a good start.
That was Jade Fanua. Now out to Kelly. Still going Kelly. One-on-one here with Dib. Manzelman comes again. So Pearson, Kennedy Cherrington, the decoy from Albert, Toi Hiku, Murphy.
Last tackle, Cowboys out! Alicia, lock in!
Parramatta with a real roll on here. 14 out in front of the post. Pearson, that's a beautiful kick. That was right in the breadbasket for Meek Donovan and deserved to be taken.
Yeah, great kick, Rachel Pearson. I think maybe Donovan was just having a look at, rather than focusing on just catching the football first, just having a little bit of a look about where she wanted to go once she got the ball. So just on the stroke of half time, that's a let off for the Cows.
She really took some height out of that kick, didn't she? But the accuracy was certainly there.
Yeah, well, less height means it gets there quicker, so the defenders don't have as much time to react. So it was the perfect kick.
Hardham, 6 short of halfway. The Cowboys inside the final 15 seconds here. And now Yarrow at the line finds Ford. Will there be time for one more play? Perhaps not.
Half time.
As referee signals half-time. Interesting half of football. A gripping battle going on out there. Both these sides desperate for the 2 points. And it's the Eels leading 12 points to 6 at the break, courtesy of tries to both Rosie Kelly and Rosemary Beckett. They did enjoy a slight breeze in that first half, Parramatta, which will be enjoyed by the Cowboys in the second half, of course.
Not early, Jakaya.
As Kira Dibb launches this one deep for the Eels to retrieve, and Elsie Albert off the back fence runs straight over the top of Palata on her way almost to the 30. Mahalia Murphy, the Eels, they are an improved outfit in 2024. They're a force to be reckoned with what we've seen. Kennedy Cherrington never takes a backward step, but the Eels now just working it over halfway. Again, Albert with another carry. Steve Georgalis would be impressed with the way they've started this second half, Lockie, the Eels.
Oh, this has been a great set so far. Going to see the finish here from Rachel Pearson. That's going to make Steve very happy. He was quite animated at half time there. You can see, I think he was wanting them to play with a bit of energy through the middle of the field. They did that in the first set, so a good start for the Eels. Cowboys now under a little bit of pressure.
Now the Cowboys just working it away. And Alana, we just spoke about Steve Georgalis. What about Cowboys coach Ricky Henry? What do you think his message would have been at half-time?
Well, I think both teams have really reaped the rewards of the territory when the battle's to and fro. And at the moment, the Eels are doing a really good job at stopping the Cowboys in their tracks. They just forced Kira Dibb to kick on the inside of her 40-metre line. So they've got to work on their discipline, getting through their sets, but just being able to apply pressure through territory, and this defensive line's crucial.
And that is a monster kick, wasn't it?
Yeah, she's got a boot on her, Kira Dibb. A little bit of breeze behind her, but they did need that because they were struggling to get out of their end. And a nice kick, sat up, and sort of started to winning that sort of field position battle off the back of it.
And again, a reminder, they play the 40-30 in the NRLW, not 40-20, so the 40-30 on offer, as is the 20-50. So 12 points to 6, the Eels lead. Kennedy Cherrington. And now into enemy territory goes Toi Hiku. Did well, then linking up with Owen. And she was looking for Faye on the outside, who went without it. Now the Cowboys have it.
It's the right idea, wasn't it? That left edge, it was on, just the last pass probably didn't need to happen, but great work from Toi Hiku on that left edge.
And it was Libby Surha who came away with it and jumper number 22. She's playing right wing for the Cowboys at the moment. It's Talisha Harden, so North Queensland. Dibb, the skipper, onto Ford. Up by Kelly and Pearson, Alicia Ford. Now Manzelman, the Queensland Origin star. Peacock. And Peacock with a little knock on.
Forward. All up, clock on.
As Cowboys coach Ricky Henry, the former Kiwi Ferns coach in the
Over here.
2021 World Cup final.
Yeah, he looks frustrated, the coach. They're putting themselves under a lot of pressure at the moment, the Cowboys.
Let's get going. We're on the clock. Come forward, Para. Rosemary, get your head in. Rosemary,
Georgialis was looking jittery earlier. Lockie, what do we call that from Ricky Henry?
Here we go. Break.
Yes, he'd want to be a coach. It's, I think, yeah, just after half-time, I think both coaches would have sort of talked about just getting through your sets, building pressure, waiting for your moment. Already both teams have been guilty of pushing the pass too early.
Elsie Albert, she has a motor, doesn't she? Cherrington, Pearson, Jackson.
Kira, Alicia, up. Lily, with me, Lily. Oh, that's right.
The Eels. Kennedy Cherrington again.
Talisha, move with space.
Is she playing even better this year, Alana, Kennedy Cherrington?
Well, I think the fact that she's got Elsie Albert there, that 1-2 punch when they support one another, neither of them can be left alone, so it causes a lot of strife for the defensive line, but yeah, she's playing some good footy this season, that's for sure.
Last play is Pearson, again pinpoint to Donovan, and the Cowboys through Goldthorpe, so they're definitely looking for Monique Donovan on those last tackle options in the Westpac red zone.
Oh no. Yeah, well, it's been close, hasn't it? And it's going to be very pretty to watch when it sticks, but you can see the halfback Kira Dibb filthy with that unforced error. She saw the opportunity from dummy half and took off, but what a great kick from Rachel Pearson. Very close.
I feel like they're going to get a try out there at some point.
It's got to stick, Lockie.
But that's, it's a real test for the Cowboys right here. You see Kira Dibb, she's got one finger up saying one set. Well, let's see how they go.
So Pearson leads the scrum. And the Eels again on the attack. Cassie Tohi Hiku. Played in the 22 grand final for the Eels as Beckett goes herself. Rosemary Beckett, she's got a double. Making it look so simple. It opened up for her, and Beckett, she took the 4 points on offer.
Yeah, she did. It was up for grabs. Just really good again. Really good ruck recognition. Cassie Tohu Hiku has been challenging that at left edge all day, and then what Beckett does, she understands a little bit of confusion around the dummy half, holds the footy in two hands, she sells the pass. She's got Elsie Albert on her right-hand side. She's also got a captain screaming out for the footy in Mahalia Murphy, and the defence, the second she sees them just sitting back on their heels, she takes the line on. 2 tries straight from dummy half and backing herself. Great confidence.
Yeah, I think that was premeditated. She was always thinking, I'm going to run. She just waited for that Cowboys defender to just come out of the line and open that space, and away she went. So 2 tries, both tries been very instinctive from Beckett.
Rosemary Beckett, Auckland born. It's only her 4th NRLW game. She came through, junior club was the Windsor Wolves out in Western Sydney there, Penrith Way. And she certainly made an impact since coming on for Tanika Todd-Hunter earlier in the game. She's got 2 tries now, Beckett. Rachel Pearson looking to keep her perfect record intact and unsuccessful. Parramatta 16, lead North Queensland 6.
Kira, Lily, the bunkers put you on report for a hip drop in that previous set, okay? Yeah, of course.
Thank you, 15 Cowboys. Okay, thank you.
All right, stay behind it, Jakaya. Take that step. Take a step here, Lily, China. Jasmine, take a step here. Stay behind.
So 16 points to 6. Rosemary Beckett with another try, and that's a very deep kick. Elsie Albert, no surprises to see her steaming onto it.
It's probably not who they would have chosen to kick to. Elsie Albert starts another set off. But yeah, as you mentioned on Beckett, that last try just before half-time, and the first one when they come out, very damaging for the Eels. Almost as damaging as Elsie Albert when she's on the charge.
And she did have the dropsies late in that game last week, Elsie Albert, but boy, oh boy, it's almost like she's gone to another level this week, the way she's playing today.
Yeah, she's a weapon. She's an absolute weapon. I think she likes the matchup between the middles on the Cowboys side as well, but when she's running lines like that, it just sets the Eels up for so much attack.
As the Eels go over the advantage line, let's check in sideline with Marley.
We got news from what was said at halftime from both the team's coaches. Steve Georgiala said the strongest team will win the points, and the girls have certainly been listening as Rosemary Beckett crossed the line with that barnstormer just before, whereas Ricky Henry has been calling for his girls to really focus on their defence. He'd be disappointed with letting that try in just after the halftime, and also just after that try, I can give you an update that Lily Peacock has been put on report from the Cowboys for a hip drop.
Thank you, Marley. Yes, that hip drop we're hearing on Elsie Albert. A little earlier, here's Whitfield for the Cowboys. They trail by 10. So Manzelmann now to Ford. Ford almost slicing through. Good tackle, Chester. Bree Chester's 27th tackle. She leads all Cowboys defenders with her work rate. Tricky one for Donovan. Did she touch it? It's gone dead.
No touch. You can challenge if you want.
Looks like it's coming out to the 20 for a 7-tackle set, perhaps.
She's saying she didn't touch it. She's probably hoping she had an air swing. I think she did. She's even got a laugh. So, bit of luck there. Hang on.
Okay. All right, they've reviewed it. We've got a touch. It's going to be a goal line.
Someone in the crowd there today, Greg Inglis. Oh, hang on. We've had a call back.
Well, that's one occasion, Lockie, where Monique Donovan wishes she didn't touch the ball, unlike what's happening up the other end.
Yeah, right. So they're saying she has touched it.
Yeah, I think it did nick her finger.
Yeah.
Have we got the snicker alarm? So it's become a line dropout, the call. The Cowboys, Gianna Ruffstrand-Smith, so some quality kicking in general play in this second half from the Cowboys. Whitfield dancing away from one. Jakaya Whitfield.
Might be the reason why GI is here. Jakaya Whitfield does some work with GI through the Goanna Academy. Big fan he is, I know.
Great to see GI here, lapping it up. Dib to Whitfield. The Australian international going close. A metre away. Dib, 10 out. Little kick in behind. Will it hold up?
Dead.
Yeah, just a little bit too much idea, but I think she just probably needed some outside players to chase that ball. There wasn't enough chase on it. The Eels had enough time to let it go over the dead ball line, and now a 7-tackle set. So all the pressure released.
Abby Church signed until the end of 2026 for the Eels. Now on the field for Parramatta, Ruby Jeed Kennedy-Ellis, the 20-year-old. Kennedy Charrington to Albert.
It's her post-contact meters which are so impressive. She's now at 167 run meters. As we see Rachel Pearson half break, but she's got 77 post-contact meters. Elsie Albert.
she's having a huge day. And there's so much footy still to be played. Kennedy Jerrington, another one with a high work rate. 33 tackles. That's her 9th hit up. Now Pearson goes high. And a test here. And the Cowboys, she'll have to keep this in. Well, Goldthorpe, but she can't manage to do so. She took an exceptional take, Alana, but the positioning of the kick was just too challenging.
Yeah, I thought Donovan did a really good job too. She took the footy but was just in that upright position, so just time to tackle, make sure that she stayed on her feet and just swept her out there. So a great kick, but that tackle was crucial.
Crystal, goal line.
So Kennedy Cherrington finds herself 10 out here to play the ball. Fresh 6 tackles coming up for Parramatta. Elsie Albert wrestling with defenders. Cherrington. Rosemary Beckett, who's on a hat-trick. To Pearson. Church out wide. Kelly. Whitfield around the legs. Donovan with a lovely pass to Pearson. Albert showing good hands. The blue and gold. Space to the left. Rosemary Beckett. Can she get another one? Rosemary Beckett.
Hold! All right, tackle 5 coming up. Take it out. Rosemary with the ball.
There's no mountain too tall for her at the moment. Rosemary Beckett. Real physical ball runner. And now Church, little tip for herself, regather.
Change over.
And that'll be the changeover.
Yeah, well contained defensively from the Cowboys, but that set was just so lateral from the Eels. This was the first time they really even looked like straightening up. And they just didn't have that numerical advantage.
Oh, a little juggle there from Peters. Haven't seen a lot of Jasmine Peters so far today. Albert again, physical defence and maybe a little too physical on that occasion.
Go to the side. Just line
Well, they needed that, the Cowboys. There's a lot of water being taken out onto the field for the Cowboys after that
Stay behind it.
onslaught on their try line. So Kira Dibb now hoping to get some easy meters here with the kick for touch.
Another quality touch finder.
Yeah, very good. She's got a big boot on her.
Tap and go Jakaya Whitfield. Now the Cowboys, they trail by 10. Lily Peacock. She's got a bright future, Peacock. Seen a number of times. She's been catapulted into that starting lineup again today. And now Banu, who's back on the field. She's been excellent. Manzelman, Lily Peacock with the fen. Manzelman, short, Rustrand-Smith, Tiana Rustrand-Smith. Half a metre away, Manzelman, long pass, forward, kick comes off Albert, and the Eels have got it. It's the captain, Murphy, who emerges with the football.
Yep, it was they did well to hold on then, the Eels. They look dangerous, the Cowboys, when Manzelman gets out of dummy half. As you see a relieving penalty here for the Eels now, but the Cowboys they look very dangerous when Manzelman gets out of dummy half. I think that's what the coach would be wanting the rest of this half, is just to play around that ruck area with some momentum and some speed. Just a high tackle there. Get a breather for the Eels here.
Of course, straight after this, the Broncos and Titans will take centre stage here at Totally Workwear Stadium. Gold Coast already have the upper hand over older sister the Broncos with a 2-1 record since the Titans entered the competition in 2021. The Broncos and the Titans straight after this match here on 9 Go and 9 Now. Playback underway, Cherrington. Madeline Jones. See the red zone there. The Eels have had twice as many play the balls in their opposition 20. Looking at that Westpac red zone, Alana.
Yeah, they have been pretty dominant. They've done a really good job at working their way out of their own end. See Todd Hunter just going for another run there, but certainly putting pressure on the Cowboys in the right end of the field.
Yeah, Todd Hunter back on. Toi Hiku, Mahalia Murphy. So last play, 10 away. The Parramatta Eels. To Toi Hiku. And now Owen. As they run it on the last.
Right, change it over there.
Abby Church wanted the footy then, out the back on the left edge. She was in a little bit more space. But well done defensively from the Cowboys. It's a tough place to work their way out of again. Look at those metres gained from Elsie Albert. Sitting just under 190. As Lockie said before, post-contact is over 80 metres at the moment as well, which is just enormous. But Jakaya Whitfield, she leads it for the Cowboys. Such a dangerous weapon, and most of those metres are just coming out from her own end, just chipping in, helping getting that forward momentum. Would love to see her tick some of those over in a bit of attacking space up the other end of the field.
And based on the scoreboard, Alana, and all things considered, tactically, what would you like to see from North Queensland here?
Look, I think Lockie said it really well off Manzelman. I think they're really dangerous, but there she goes.
And here goes Manzelman. Manzelman's through. 18 metres out on the last. Tillett, cut out ball. Peters fires at the Burha. Right step from Libby Surha, I should say.
I think
Surha just short of the line.
I think back to your point, a great line break from Emma Manzelman. She was able to fracture and find her way through the defence, but they're playing very predictably other than that. The halfback on the right edge, she got a footy, and they're just running straight, going through the motions, throwing their passes. I'd like to see some different angles, regardless of which edge they hit, but their halves need to straighten up, and they need to punch some challenging angles for this Eels defence.
Well, they've got an opportunity here, the Cowboys, to put the Eels under a heap of pressure. Let's just play 3, and they're only 15 metres out from their own try line. So if they're disciplined here, the Cowboys, they'll get another chance.
Kenneth Ellis. So Pearson decides to go along the ground with this kick, running into a little breeze. The Eels in the second half. There's Crystal Blackwell. She played fullback in that Mackay Cutters BMD Grand Final win. And starting fullback this week, Crystal Blackwell. There's a slight breeze to the back of the Cowboys here at the moment. Tillett on to Chester. As we approach the final 15 minutes, S.A. Banu. Hailing from Tully in North Queensland. S.A. Banu. Pretty wet up there, they tell me. Tiana Ruffstrand-Smith.
They've got to play off the back of that.
Manzelman, dip, and then out to the winger there, Francesca Goldthorpe.
Good pass.
That's been called forward.
Here, Jack.
It was all just going towards that left sideline, wasn't it? They did well to play quickly off Emma Manzelman, but just all going the wrong direction. It opened up. Kira Dibb just really needs to work on the line that she's running before she passes the football.
So 16 points to 6, a let off there for the Eels. Right idea, the best execution. Weren't far away. Here goes Amiatu. Tyler Amiatu. Wreaking havoc up the middle. Now Kennedy Cherrington. Pearson. And Jackson with her. Now goes back inside. Kennedy Cherrington. Madeline Jones. Can't get away from Tessa, but can get the offload away. Tohu Hiku, Murphy on the outside was Owen. Was it touched from a Cowboy? It was touched by a Cowboy, so 6 more. And Rory Owen, only 10 away. Cassie Tohu Hiku. The Eels. Amiatu. Cherrington goes through as a decoy. Pearson, Church, trouble here for North Queensland. Abby Church. Church goes over. And is that the knockout blow for the North Queensland Cowboys?
Yeah, I think it might be. Just that late change of direction from Abby Church. That's how to challenge the defence on the line. The late footwork, straightening up. She did it brilliantly. We get to see here on the Harvey Norman replay, Amiatu started things off brilliantly for the Eels, just barnstorming. Kennedy Cherrington got the footy in her hands off the back of it. They were able to get that great territory. They got a repeat set, but Abby Church has been brilliant all game, Lockie. I know you've been really impressed with her, but just the awareness to know where the space is and to sell that outside option into the footwork at the line, she did it brilliantly.
Yeah, she's just so busy. She's wherever the ball is, she's not far away, and she gets a reward here with a try. But great decoy running too. Can't see who it was, but someone brought in Kira Dibb, and that was the space that Abby Church went into. So everyone in that play there did their role, and in particular that decoy runner opened that space for Abby Church. So that was a good set from the Eels, and they got a 6 again, but they made the most of it. They didn't panic, and that's given them a good lead now.
And she's been an Eel from day one, Abby Church. Camden Rams Jr., fullback. Here's Pearson. And that one hits the post and bounces back. So the score remains 20 points to 6. The Eels over the Cowboys.
All right, Jasmine, stay behind it. Take that extra step. Sarika, not early, Sarika. On the clock. Not early.
Welcome back to Nine's coverage of the 2024 NRLW season. And Mahalia Murphy just flirting with the touchline there. Restart from the Cowboys. Of course, this is the first of our doubleheader here at Totally Workwear. There's 3 games today, of course. So to follow this one, it is the South East Queensland local derby. Arguably the match of the round, the Broncos and the Titans. So get comfortable, sit back and relax and enjoy this feast of NRLW football this afternoon right here on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Kennedy Cherrington onto Tohu Hiku. And perhaps a penalty there, just on the contact on Kennedy Cherrington.
Yeah, they didn't need that, the Cowboys. They need to get the football in their hands and in the right part of the field. Try and mount a comeback, but just a little bit lazy there. Just didn't really need to go through with that contact. And penalty sufficient. Oh, hang on, Rachel Pearson hasn't found touch, so the Cowboys get an opportunity.
Yeah, well taken, Libby Surha. Just the breeze holding that one up, Lockie. For a moment I thought that was going to go in the car park, but the breeze did its work.
No, it's not quick.
And now a penalty, so this is the Cowboys' opportunity.
10 minutes to go. You'd want to be in a hurry, wouldn't you?
Yep, inside the 10.
Right on the 20,
Remaining 10 minutes to play. And the Cowboys, well, they've got to score 3 tries, you would think.
Yeah, well, if they can get one here, sometimes one can turn into 2 very quickly.
Right there, my Lily Peacock.
ball. And square markers. Hold. Go to.
It was Mooka. Now Peacock again.
Up now.
So Coach Ricky Henry going to his strike weapons for the Cowboys. Dib on the burst. Tiana Ruff-Strun-Smith. Kennedy Cherrington just slowing it down. Manzelman. Mooka. Sarika Mooka went awfully close.
Knock on, short on the line.
Yeah, they tried for that crash play, but you could see that she just lost control over the footy there.
Yeah, I think she was looking to get her arm free, so if she could twist in the tackle, maybe get the ball over the line. But a bit like the play earlier today, in the action of trying to do that, just bobbled the ball. So a letter for the Eels there.
How much does Kennedy Cherrington love her football, Alana? I mean, she's always got a smile on her face.
She's very passionate, isn't she? Playing really good footy this season, as you mentioned. They've got a really good front row that are just working well together, but yeah, she's pure passion.
There's a huge shot there from the Cowboys. It was Mooka.
Abby.
She's going to give away a penalty.
Abby. Yep.
She raced out of the line.
Okay.
And plenty of venom in that shot, Lockie.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of frustration there now. So
Tapping. Okay.
she's bringing the aggression.
When you're ready with me, Cowboys.
Yeah, it's probably now a little bit too high. So I like the aggression. Just got to get it right.
Good to see Rory Owen is okay, the Eels centre. The Cowboys just taking it up a notch now as desperation sets in. 7.5 minutes remaining. It's the Eels by 14. 20 points to 6 here. Tyler Amiatu, they must be the next to score, North Queensland. The Eels have got it here for now. 39 away. Pearson. Church bounces away from Div. Can't get past Peacock. Last tackle, Pearson. Another high one, another test here at the back. And Goldthorpe, brilliantly done. She's almost beaten 3, still going. Cherrington going for the one-on-one strip here.
Don't play it on her. Go to Kennedy, come Rachel, move. Lock in.
Some solid metres first half of the set for North Queensland. That was Blackwell. Now Harden.
Maddie off the ball. In Mahalia. Hold.
And Manzelman. Just linking up with players around the ruck. Blackwell again. Last tackle. Manzelman this time with the kick. She finds space. Bouncing ball. So Church going back in her own in-goal area. And now applies the speed. Claimed in the tackle by both Whitfeld and Tiana Ruff-Strun-Smith.
Yeah, well, the Eels are looking good now. We just got to get through this set here, and I think the Cowboys would have to be thinking a one-on-one steal just to try and have any hope in this game. The Eels just defensively just keep finding a way to keep turning the Cowboys. And I think that the frustration from the Cowboys is starting to show in their defence.
Jones got the tape around the forehead. And Elsie Albert, look at her go.
What a weapon. And a quick play the ball too.
Todd Hunter scoots away. Albert wanted another carry.
Wanted it back.
Pearson, high. And that one's out in the full. Could this be the half break the Cowboys needed?
Yeah, I don't know if it might be a little bit too late, but what about Elsie Albert? Wanted it back on the last. She was looking for a second kick of the game then. But missed kick from Rachel Pearson. Needed to get that one right to keep mounting the pressure. It's a really important set for the Cowboys.
Inside the final 5 minutes now. It's now or never for the Cowboys. Whitfeld running straight at the Eels skipper, bounces away from Murphy. Can't evade Madeline Jones. Quick play. Tillett cuts out Peters. Finds Surha. Libby Surha on the right wing in jumper number 22.
Hold here, wait. Go forward.
Approaching the Westpac red zone here, North Queensland. Chester.
Last tackle, Elsie, move.
Last tackle here.
Hold.
Short side, Manselman, Tillett, Peters, Libby Surha, back inside, and Alicia Ford, too hot to handle.
Yes, it was similar to that try they scored in the first half, that ball movement out to the
last
right
tackle,
there.
play the ball, yep. With me,
The execution of the passes was good up until that pass there. They look good when they come down that line with that side with numbers, the Cows. Just haven't probably done it enough today. And the Eels survive again. You just see Steve next door, he's starting to relax a bit. Maybe more fidgeting.
Yeah. He's a bit more relaxed, is he?
He looks a bit more relaxed.
I thought perhaps Libby Surha would have even backed herself there for the corner. Decided to step inside.
Yeah, she wasn't far from the line. I guess you've got to give the Eels a bit of credit with their defence.
Elsie Albert, once again, that's her 16th hit up off the game. She's approaching 200 metres, right on halfway, the Eels. Played there by Whanua, Pearson, boot to ball. Crystal Blackwell with some momentum with this carry. Whitfeld putting her hand up for more work in these latter stages. Ja'Kiah Whitfeld, one of the Cowboys' best. Goldthorpe, the English woman, England international. Talisha Harden. Here goes Ford, straight at Murphy. Did she catch the Eels offside?
Offside. Wait.
Yes, she did.
On that line. Off you go.
So fresh set for here for the Cowboys. Talisha Harden. They look to set something up.
Release Elsie. Square jab.
They've got to play off Manselman, in my opinion. There's a bit of
Peacock shrugged away from Cherrington.
Tanika, stand up. Go
Todd Hunter to the rescue, 5 away. There's Manselman. Harden. Dummy, she'll take the tackle.
Stand up, Cassie. Hold the line. Wait.
Manselman barking instruction now. Tillett. Blackwell. Comes inside. Perhaps a little bit of hesitation from the Cowboys.
Hold. Go forward.
Chester, first receiver.
Last tackle.
Strong collision from Jade Whanua. Last play.
Wait. Go.
Manselman. Blackwell steps off the left. Crystal Blackwell.
That's 6. Change
No
over.
dice.
well, good defence. I guess that's what the coach will be happy about. Is that, they've scored 20 points, but
Take it back one step.
they've been very good on their try line, the Eels. They've shown some desperation, and that is a reflection of your attitude. And I think you'll be very pleased with the way they've defended their try line today.
Rosie Kelly. And the Eels just have to negate 30-odd seconds here. Abby Church. The Cowboys responded at the Eels. They scored the next 3. It's been a pretty impressive performance from Steve Georgiades' team this afternoon. Final seconds. This is Jade Whanua for Parramatta. It's Cherrington. Fitting that she takes the last carry, Candy Cherrington. She's been excellent once again. And what a turnaround season 2024 is proving to be for the Parramatta Eels. They could easily be undefeated, but they moved to a 2-1 record. They'd be delighted with that, off the back of strong performances from Elsie Albert, Kennedy Cherrington, And Abby Church was pretty good at the back for them as well. Solid team effort. The Parramatta Eels victorious. 20 points to 6. They defeat the North Queensland Cowboys. A double to Rosemary Beckett. We should give her a mention.